Hey guys, Edgar here, Guns for Everyone. Once again, I hope the audio is okay, because if it's not, it's gonna suck. But another walk. We did one on Friday. I think we did about 13-ish miles then. Today we're doing an 8-mile walk. We're roughly about mile 3 of this 8-ish mile walk. And again, I want to take the opportunity to have a conversation with you guys about gun stuff. On Wednesday, no, today's Monday, yesterday, Sunday, we had a class, as we do most weekends, and by the way, I gotta point out how fucking ridiculous I probably look. I feel stupid holding the shit and the stuff while I'm walking. But anyways, I had a conversation with one of the students, as I often do, and this one was a little bit different in the sense that his worry seemed different. So it's this idea of what is paranoid, what is being aware. A lot of gun people have this idea of being aware, and it almost seems paranoid more than it does seem aware. It's, I mean, you know the cliches. We could play fucking aware bingo, and it's the people who talk about putting their backs to the wall when they go to the restaurant so that they can see the front door, and the people who believe, and it's only a belief, oh, that rabbit, it's only a belief that they're constantly aware, because you can't always be aware. You can certainly, another bunny, you can certainly be aware, but you can't always be aware. I was just aware of a couple bunnies that ran right past me. I didn't have to see them. I didn't have to like fucking be paranoid and shit like that, but I was aware in spite of me doing the video. Most of these humans, they talk about this as they're always watching, right? It's just like keep your head on the swivel, and they're just very paranoid, just constantly watching, because humans want to kill you all the fucking time. Like, if that's you, fucking don't leave the house. If you're afraid that humans are constantly trying to kill you, you probably shouldn't leave the house. Should seek some therapy, that type of shit. This conversation was a little bit different because I think this guy in yesterday's class was simply genuine in his wanting to protect his family. He didn't seem like your typical I'm paranoid type of human. And again, most of the time I think people are just saying that because they want to seem cool in front of their fellow classmates. But this guy was talking about like, well, I carry a gun and I'm going to be aware because although it's very minimal, I know something will happen. And I think we need to switch the conversation. My challenge to him was like, we don't know. Like, the likelihood of you actually needing your gun is less than 1%. If you do the math, it's very, very simple to do the math and realize that the actual need of a firearm is less than 1%. But it's not zero, right? We know that it's not zero. His comeback or his response a couple times was like, yeah, but I know it is going to happen because I've seen it happen. And it's almost like he's trying to manifest something bad happening. If you believe in that type of stuff, it's almost like that self-prophesizing the problem. So now anything that goes wrong is going to be like, see, I knew it was going to happen. Well, like, it can happen, but the likelihood of it happening is very minimal. Why does this matter to you? Why does this matter to the conversation? Well, your mental health is important. That's one. If you walk around life believing that somebody's going to kill you, that's different than something could happen. But if you walk around life expecting someone to kill you that day, then I think you need therapy. You need to, or maybe you know something we don't know, and you need to fucking let everybody know that somebody's gonna fucking kill us. But if that's different than I accept that life is dangerous, I accept that life is risky. It's different. So why does this matter? Mental health, but it also matters for training. If in training you are, this is hilarious because my wife said, let's take this route because it's going to be quieter. Let's take this route because there's not going to be as many cars in the fucking... I try to convince her that no matter where we did this fucking video, it's going to be loud as fuck and watch. And then now humans are going to be coming and I try and do these videos where it's going to be quieter, and it's fucking quieter on Sheridan so far than it would have been here. I'm going to pause this while these people walk by us. Alright, we're back in this very quiet street, according to my wife. In your training, if you are training with this mindset of I know how they're going to kill me, this is the same problem we have with humans that want to do simulated training or scenario-based training, is you're trying to choreograph your self-defense. So I make fun of the people who go to restaurants and they try and dictate where they sit because they believe the attacker is going to come from one location only. So they put their back to the wall to look at the front door. Well, what if the cook gets mad at the fucking boss because the boss said, hey, you suck, we're going to cut your hours, and this dude's fucking unstable, and he comes from the kitchen and wants to shoot the fucking shit up from the kitchen, but your eyes are on the front door. So now your whole plan of my back is to the wall so I can see the front door, and then the fucking cook from the back is like, surprise, motherfucker. How many entrances do they have? Do they have a basement? Do they not have a basement? So now, but your brain is in paranoia mode of, I know how it's going to happen. I know when it's going to happen. I know why it's going to happen. Well, if you have that much fucking information, avoid it. Right? Like if you had that much fucking information, don't be where you know you're going to get attacked. But I think that's the problem, right? Is you don't know. But you're telling yourself and you're telling your brain that you know, but you don't know. So the way you train is based off of shit that you think you know, but you don't know. Dunning-Kruger at its finest. I think that's why it's important to realize that you don't dictate how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, why it's going to happen, or anything like that. We're taking this route because my wife said it's going to be quieter here. It's fucking been louder here than it was on Sheridan because we don't know. Now it's quiet. Now it's getting quieter, but we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. You start to plan shit. You start to choreograph shit. What the fuck you gonna do when your plan doesn't fucking go according to plan? This is why this idea of planning shit is fucking stupid. It's so fucking dumb. Anybody who has a calendar and one that plans their day and their fucking week and their month, what happens when your plan doesn't go that way? What do you do then? Like, you have to learn how to adapt. Well, your brain is going to have to learn how to adapt as it's fucking getting shot at, as it's getting stabbed. I can adapt to changes in my day. It's very difficult for your brain to learn how to adapt to changes in the fight while it's fucking fighting. So you're doing yourself a disservice by crossing from aware into that paranoid, I know what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, why it's going to happen state. Because you don't know shit. I don't know shit. If we did, we wouldn't have these problems because I know it's going to happen, so I avoid it. So it was just an interesting conversation. This isn't the conversation I had with the guy. But it was an interesting conversation that we had that day, yesterday. And again, a lot of it was, for me, it was mostly because it seemed different with this individual. He didn't seem paranoid. He seemed genuine in his wanting to be prepared for the self-defense. And he did mention it. He's like, I never even thought about how it could be the chef. I never even thought about how it could be from the back, not the front. And that's what we have to be careful with these tactical, popular people on the YouTubes. They tell us these regurgitated pieces of advice because they want to make it seem like they have the knowledge and the information. I wish I could tell you how you're going to get attacked. The best I can tell you is you don't know how you're going to get attacked. So quit trying to choreograph your self-defense. We've said this many times. But here we are again, having this conversation of why it's important to not enter into that state of paranoia and understand what awareness actually means. I'm doing this video. People could argue that I'm not aware, but I'm as aware as I need to be while making this video, understanding that I can't be aware 100% of the time. And I think people conflate that. People think being aware is like just constantly being fucking looking out. Like I can do that. I could be aware and not be paranoid. I could be aware and still have a conversation with my wife, have a conversation with you. I could be aware, because that's the other thing I brought up to this individual was I think you're there's a lot of people a lot of motherfuckers that what happened to quiet and no people.
I was wrong.
If you're at a restaurant, you're super paranoid. I think your kids would rather you be present, because like, what's the point of going to the restaurant with their dad if all you're gonna be doing is fucking be paranoid? It's no different than the parent who's always on their phone. And we're all guilty of this. Everybody's guilty of this. But if you're that dad that's like just hyper vigilant, then are you really fucking at the restaurant with your kids? Are you really at the restaurant with your wife, with your date, with whatever? You could do both. I think people confuse what aware really is. Aware doesn't have to look like paranoia. Aware doesn't have to be that level of awareness where your eyes are never with your family. Your eyes are never at the camera. So I think it's important to study what that actually means. It's important to analyze yourself to see what that actually means. Anyways, I'm at a point where I'm just gonna start fucking rambling. I think a 13-minute video is good enough in this really loud street, really big. She just stuck her tongue out at me. So anyways, I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.